let's talk a little bit about freedom of religion because I'm feeling reasonably functional today, which means I might even be able to focus on this video, and it means that I can think about something other than all of the medical crap that's going on with me. So, we're going to talk about the news, and freedom of religion, and same-sex marriage, and all that good stuff. So, as I'm sure everybody knows, the president recently announced that he is in favor of same-sex marriage. Whatever. This was met with a bunch of people saying they agreed with him or they didn't disagree with him, or. Specifically, I want to talk about the people that are saying that the president saying that is a violation of freedom of religion. I can almost understand the argument. The same arguments were made when George Bush Sr. said that he didn't consider atheists to be patriotic American citizens. The thing of it is, though, there are religions that support same-sex marriage. So, in order to actually have freedom of religion for all religions, it has to be legal. It has to be an option for churches to perform same-sex marriages or choose not to perform same-sex marriages. Speaking purely from a religious standpoint here, I'm not going to get into the laws or anything like that that makes this issue more complicated than just freedom of religion versus same-sex marriage. Actually, the two are on the same side. If you want freedom of religion, you want religions to have the choice to either marry or not marry same-sex couples. And in order for them to have that choice, same-sex marriage has to be legalized. Because if the government makes a law that bans same-sex marriage, then faiths that don't support that do support same-sex marriage will have their rights violated. And then what is to stop the government from making other laws that ban religious practices? For instance, this is kind of a loony one, but I could see it happening not immediately, but at some point. So some Christian faiths believe that at communion you are literally eating the body of Christ, and some believe that you are figuratively eating the body of Christ. Well, this was, in the Protestant Reformation, like a huge issue. Like, there were wars fought over it. So what's to stop the government from coming in and saying that literally eating the body of Christ is actually cannibalism, and it is illegal? That's like half of Christian denominations, at least, that suddenly cannot practice their religion freely. And you may throw this huge uproar about it, but the precedent has already been set that the government can violate people's religious beliefs because they have decided not to allow same-sex marriage. If you want religious freedom, you want same-sex marriage. The other alternative is that the government declares a state religion, and that might not sound so bad to some of you, but how do you know the government is going to declare the state religion to be yours? There are thousands of religions represented in this country. Now, they all either need to be equal, or one of them has to be picked. How do you know they're going to pick yours? Hinduism is apparently the fastest growing religion in the world. They could be very forward-thinking and decide that that means that the state religion should be Hindu, which will be an issue because I don't think they allow people to convert to Hinduism. It's all baby-making, but still, they could. There would be nothing stopping them, except the Constitution, but let's not get into that whole thing. Then there's the other option, which is they could just ban all religious practices. Does that sound good? None of these are good options, people. The only option here that is good for religious people in this country is to allow same-sex marriage so that the churches that want it can have it, and the churches that don't want it cannot have it. If your primary concern is religious freedom and not stomping on other people's rights, then you want same-sex marriage. To protect your own religious beliefs, whatever they be, you want the government to allow same-sex marriage. There is not another option. So Hopefully, some of the some of the religious leaders in this country will come to understand this and put aside their own personal religious beliefs in favor of supporting religion in general in this country, and start pushing for the government to allow same-sex marriage for the people that want it. Because otherwise, they are the ones putting themselves at risk of having their religious freedom violated. That's really, that's as simple as this argument gets. There's no other version of this. Same-sex marriage has to be legalized for freedom of religion. The end.